Good morning, you cunts. Snappy will be right back. Engines to maximum.
100% engaged.
Good morning, Amy. How are you?
Are we streaming now?
Yes. Amy says hi. Oh, she says good
Hello,
morning.
Amy. I was away getting a pizza. This is the voice I'm going to use through the whole stream today. Orphan Snappy.
I give him another 30 seconds before he abandons it. And why is it you have to automatically be an orphan? Because you sound like you're kind of English and a child?
'Cause I'm an orphan. I'm a poor orphan.
Are all English
My
children orphans? Is that like just like a fact or something?
Yes. Our families were eaten by Big Ben.
By Big Ben, you say.
He's a monster.
He's a monster.
There's the Twitch chat. Let's get the YouTube chat up.
Oh, I passed it. Because I was fucking with settings. Thanks, Obama.
I'm scared of
Engines
Obama.
off.
Affirmative. Slowing to full engine stop.
Engines to 25%.
25%, sir.
Is that good pizza?
I can't eat it yet. It's too hot and I'll burn my mouth, so I'm eating the pepperonis
I
off the
was
top.
gonna say, I can hear you eating something. Don't fucking lie to me. That mic picks up everything.
I know it doesn't. It used to be worse until I figured out how to slightly adjust it. It used to be great. Like, I probably could have used it to listen to my neighbors.
Really? Fucked up.
Like, it was crazy when I first got it. Like, you could hear, like, the tiniest crap happen in the other end of the house.
Oh, someone wants to fight. Go. Come on. Come on. Balance power.
Redistributing power.
I'm about to fuck somebody up. Engage weapons.
Command. Deploying and readying weapons.
Engines to 75%.
Okay. 75%. Readying now.
Under attack. Target shields offline.
Power to systems.
All power to systems.
Target shields online.
Balance power.
Redistributing.
Target shields offline.
Shields offline.
Power to systems.
Power diverted to systems.
Power to weapons. Power to weapons.
Powering and deploying weapons.
Goodbye.
Ciao.
Target destroyed. Shields online.
Shields online.
Balance power. Engines to maximum.
Maximum drive.
Balance power.
Equalizing power.
Engage super cruise.
Engaging super cruise.
Hey, survivalist, been good. How you been doing? Oh, disengage weapons.
Retracting weapons.
Hello, survivalist.
Engage super cruise. We were just
Target
talking about him
super
yesterday,
cruise
weren't we?
drive.
Charging.
Yes, I said I messaged him, and then he messaged. He hadn't messaged me back at that point, and that's what I had said. And he did message me back, and I just haven't had time to respond because I've been at work all night. And I don't DM from work,
Ah.
mainly because I don't use my phone for much, really.
Ah.
But yes, hello, survivalist. Glad to see you're alive and not eaten by dragons or. Oh, I guess I forgot I'm doing this today. Eaten by dragons.
Engines to 20%.
Or horses, a big ben, or whatever I was saying
Engines
earlier.
25%.
Understood. 25%.
I'm an orphan today, survivalist. Sauce is going to adopt me. It's going to be my new Poppy Pop.
When they chaff, what's chaff? I appreciate the help, by the way. I just don't know what that word means. Well, in regards to this, at least. I know what chafed legs are. Is it the same thing?
I get chafing when I run really fast.
Love of God, Snappy. I feel like you're trying to keep it up as long as you can because I said you couldn't do it for more than 30 seconds.
That's 90% of the reason I'm doing it.
Ah. When they do the X's? Okay. Ah, what's up, Coma?
One. Oh, sorry. My bad. Burned down the house. That's me. Quan. I do work, Amy. What do you think? I'm just a hobo?
I'm a poor orphan. Orphans have to work. We have to go to the shoe shining factory and shine all the shoes for all the other people.
I would just assume you're making Nikes.
the dead adults that got eaten by Big Ben. We're showing their shoes.
I think someone's in the background complaining.
I think my nephew either just threw up or shit all over himself. One of the two.
Kids will do that.
Poop. Poop was the answer.
I'd be broke if that was true, Amy.
I'm approaching now. Stand clear.
What the hell was that supposed to mean?
You're not cool. That was obvious.
Wow, you're a jackass. I don't want you to be my poppy pop no more.
Oh, fuck.
I'll go find a new man to adopt me.
There you go. Amy's gonna adopt you. She's always wanted an annoying little English kid. Landing gear up, engines off.
Warning, you have entered a trespass zone. Trespass
Engines
zone
off.
cleared.
All stop.
Deploy landing gear.
The gear is down and...
Yay, I can come to America and live with Amy.
Landing gear
And do all the American things, like eat at the McDonald's.
They have those in England too, genius. Deploy SRV. Deploy SRV.
Acknowledged. Prepping SRV.
But we have no adults. They all got eaten by the Big Ben, so there's no one to work at the McDonald's here. They're just empty. It's very sad.
Can you? Fuck you. You're rude. Oh, sweet, I love these ones. These are super easy. Nope. I'm gonna run into something. Oh, here. How do I scan the data again? Oh, shut up. I'm doing important stuff.
Yay! Amy's going to buy me a pony.
I don't think she's
Sauce
going to.
never bought me a pony. He was an asshole.
What do you mean is an asshole? Or was an asshole, rather. I am an asshole. I is an asshole. Alright, time to go. Oh shit. Goddamn tires. Can you fucking not, dude? You're distracting me. I'm getting used to this SRV as it is. Can you move? Prepare to retract SRV on my mark. The command for it, damn it. Retract SRV. Okay, I gotta Figure out the command for that later. Board ship. Oh. I have to use my hands. Can I help you? Retract landing gear.
Retracting landing gear.
Engines to maximum.
Maximum velocity engaged.
Open galaxy map.
Stellar cartography.
Really? Exit galaxy map. Just do it then myself. Engage super cruise.
Preparing for super cruise.
Charging. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Shit.
Approaching LZ.
Engage super cruise. On my mark.
Engaging drive.
Engage super cruise on my mark.
Okay.
Mark.
Engaging cruise.
Drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Bitch. Engage hyperdrive.
Engaging jump.
Drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Engage hyperdrive.
Engaging jump.
Drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Open system map.
System cartography.
Engines to maximum.
100% engaged.
Fuel scooping. Fuel scoop disengaged.
Snappy must be stuffing his face full of pizza because he went awfully quiet. Or AFK.
Maybe I just don't want to talk to you, you big meanie head.
Engines to 75%.
I thought
Engines
you were
to
playing with
75%.
Tom Cruise.
Understood. 75%.
Tom Cruise! You kept saying his name!
Fucking Scientologists.
People are gonna think this is really fucking weird when they rewatch this. Especially if they skip the beginning where I say I'm going to be a British boy.
They're gonna probably wonder why I have some weirdo fucking talking like a British kid on here.
I'm never coming back to that fucking stream again.
I guarantee you, anyone that's been a regular listener is gonna think, that's not Snappy. Who the fuck is that? Snappy wouldn't do anything weird like that. Searching Craigslist for ponies. Is that a thing? Can you sell ponies on Craigslist? Or do people sell ponies on Craigslist? Because you probably can.
I'm
Do they?
fairly tame in here. Most of the time I'm pretty fucking normal in here. I'm pretty fucking weird the rest of the time though. You wouldn't want to fucking meet me in real life. Once I tried to search Craigslist for people.
You mean prostitutes?
No people, I wanted a slave.
I think that's illegal.
Yeah, that's what Craigslist told me when I emailed Craig.
Is there actually a guy named Craig that runs Craigslist?
I don't know, I've never thought about it till right now. I bet there is.
Who is Craig of Craigslist? Craig Alexander.
Disengage. Wait, disengage.
Disengaging Super Cruise.
Yes.
Super Cruise is what
His
it's
name
called. You want to call it Hybrid
His
Drive.
name is Craig
Well.
Newmark.
About an hour
And he
away.
was born in 1952.
Frame shift drive.
So is he dead, or?
Mm,
That put him in his, what, 60s? 65? Engines to maximum?
100%.
I don't know. He's got a fucking weird fucking smile. Holy shit.
Find you a gilf on Craigslist. Disengage on my mark.
Look at this guy's smile. He smiles like this all the time.
Disengage.
Disengaging.
Look at this smile. I'm posting in chat for everybody. Look at this guy's smile. This is the guy that. This is Craig from Craigslist.
I gotta
This
see
is
this.
the actual Craig. Oh, and I can't sign in because my
Request stalking.
I can't can sadly not post it for you Twitch people because my Twitch account is fucked up because of that shit this weekend. Did that affect you at all? Did you get kicked
Power
off?
25%.
You get kicked off Twitch this weekend?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Oh, well, you're lucky. A lot of people did.
Engines off.
Affirmative. Slowing to full engine stop.
Deploy landing gear.
Deploying landing gear.
Landing gear deployed.
Look at that shit. I'm fucking loving it, Coma. Didn't know how much I would like it. I got it because I want to just mess around with the flight and get kind of ready for Star Citizen when it comes out, and I'm liking it way more than I expected to.
Isn't it? Like, it's creepy. Like, it almost looks like somebody photoshopped his face and, like, pulled up the corners of his mouth.
Like Grinch style? I gotta see this motherfucker.
Engine
It is. It's fucking Grinch. That's a good way to describe it.
I'll say not found for me. Post it in Skype for me. Yeah, I've got the entire thing. How do you think I got on that planet? Can you even do those planets without having horizons?
Why did I just click that? That is not what I want to do.
That is kind of creepy. It looks like he's got like a jawbreaker in his mouth, and so he doesn't want to use his teeth to smile.
He's like that in every photo of a smile of him, almost. Like half these photos, he's got that damn smile.
And look at the
Weird.
fucking like newspaper boy, newsy style hat he's wearing. The name for it, I can't remember what it's called. Ska
A
hat.
golf hat. You know, Scottish hats, yeah.
No, it's called a ska hat. Ska's a music type.
Ska?
Yeah, there was a guy I used to work with that wore hats like that all the time, and this other guy that I worked with that was friends with him called it his ska hat. I don't know why. I don't know. I think so. You can have like people piloting your ships on your fighter pilot ships or whatever. You can have like NPCs piloting it. If that's what you're referring to. If you're referring to multiple people on the same ship, I don't think so. Like actual people. Get paid. I know they're working on some big new update getting ready to come out, but I don't know what it's going to entail. I got paid. I got a mission yesterday. It was actually technically 2 missions. And, 34? I'm going to go check the other place really quick and see if they've got some missions now. Open system map.
System map.
I listen to a little bit of everything, but I don't like country. Mostly because I find it to be fake and pop as shit. Like pop music style. Launch.
Acknowledged.
And then I don't like a lot
Running
of bog
integrity
ground.
checks.
I only listen to the tears of
Onward
other
scanning
orphans as
complete.
they hit the floor.
Final checks
Take off.
to ascent thrust. Ignition. Takeoff.
Landing
Engines to maximum.
Commander, you now have the
Engines to
comm.
maximum.
100% engaged.
Engage super cruise.
Supercruise drive engaging.
Finish this video I was watching.
3, 2, 1. Engage.
Considering how much I hate the first Shadow of Mordor game, this sequel, gameplay for the sequel looks legit like 100 times better.
I've heard nothing but good things about Shadow of Mordor.
I thought it was really boring.
Really?
I thought it was one of those... Have you ever played a game where you're like, this feels like they just took a demo and made a demo really big?
I heard it's sandboxy, but I mean, there's a lot of people
It's
like sandboxes.
sandboxy, but it just feels empty and like kind of bland. It just feels like they like created a map and then like there's just not much to do in it. I don't know. Like the Nemesis system is cool, the combat is good, but then besides that stuff, it just felt empty around the edges, and I didn't like the story that much. I don't know. The sequel though, this gameplay looks fucking off the chain.
Off the chain.
Off the chain. That's how I talk.
That's something I haven't heard in a very long time. Oh, that's
Off
the
the
name.
chain. Bringing it back.
Off the Chizane.
Off the Trizone.
Balance power.
Off the
It's ready to
calzone. That's
Engage
what this
weapons.
is. Off the calzone.
Engage weapons.
Deploy
Amy
weapons.
watches my videos. Nobody else
Target.
watches my stuff. I hate
Looking
you all.
target.
Under attack.
Target.
Amy's pretty much the only person in YouTube. So I can't really blame the Twitch people because they can't just click my name and watch my videos.
Engines to 75%.
Engaging 75%.
Oh, you done fucked up. Ron. Oh, I was gonna ram him. So I flew right through him. That was awkward. Engage super cruise.
Charging supercruise.
Power to engines.
Power diverted to engines.
Maximum power to engines. Engines to max.
4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Boom, look at that.
Exactly. I mean, exactly.
Engines to 100.
I was so sad that little montage. The only reason I even posted that thing is because, of that beginning where I almost get those 4 kills. I was so pissed when they knocked me off that damn ledge.
Oh, and gigantic.
No, I was playing For
Oh,
Honor.
For Honor,
It was
yeah.
4v1. I got 2 of them, and then I probably could have gotten the other 2 because I mean they weren't great, but still 4v1 is fucking hard in that game. But I almost did it, and then they knocked me off a ledge.
I kind of get why you bought it because you you don't play a lot of PC games, so really Chivalry wasn't a huge option
It's a
for you.
fighting game. It's not like Chivalry though. It's not like Chivalry at all.
I
It's
think
like
you're
fighting game.
1000%
Much-
wrong about that. I've played
It's
so much Chivalry,
It's much more like a fighting game.
and so is Chivalry if you play it the right way.
From what I've watched, it doesn't have combos and
It does.
stuff like that. Not like not on a
Blocking,
fighting game
parrying.
level. Not like blocking and parrying is a long way from combos, light and heavy attacks,
Yeah, both
counters,
those.
unbreakables.
Those and those. They have all that stuff. They just don't have it as pronounced. It's just everything's much more subtle.
I don't know.
I'm saying
It
it's.
feels like Soul Calibur.
Have you played Chivalry, or have you just watched it? Let me put it that way.
From all the videos I've watched and tried
Have
to
you played
understand
it,
the
though?
controls for it.
Have you played it?
No, I guess not. But
I've played both, and I can tell you they are extremely similar. The big difference is that For Honor has a much better graphic system. That goes without saying. It's fucking stupid obvious. And then it also has a much more pronounced blocking system and combat and combo system. It's much more there. It's obvious. You know what you're supposed to hit and do. Chivalry has almost identical mechanics on a core level as far as blocking, parrying, heavy attacks, light attacks, lunges, all that kind of stuff. But it doesn't have an actual thing popping up indicating what's being blocked, what's not. You have to be able to tell from body language. It has the same kind of 3v3, 4v4 type stuff. It has huge battles where there's NPCs and stuff like that, and it has a lot of the same stuff. It's just it's $5 versus 60.
I guess I just don't see it when I watch people play it.
Probably not. I mean, it also when you're playing it and you're doing the tutorial and you're learning it, you begin to notice it. That was like the very first thing I noticed about that game is like how similar it was. And I'm not the only one that thinks that. There's a lot of people that say that. Why the fuck is it taking this long to stop? Her Royal Majesty.
And I just see a completely different game when I look at Chivalry. And I wouldn't go to Chivalry for the things that I go to. The things I see in Chivalry, I just don't like about Chivalry. Like, I don't like the big scale of it.
Well, that's because there is big skill, but there's not always big skill. Like, they have 8v8 battles, they have 4v4 battles, and 2v2 battles. It's just you have to join a server that has those things. So, I mean, it doesn't have the matchmaking system, so that would be different. But if you're looking at purely in-game combat and stuff like that, they are so fucking similar. I wouldn't say identical, but very,
maybe
very
at some
similar.
point I'll pick it up and try it. But I'm just... For Honor was literally built by a guy who was like a professional fighting game player. And it's literally designed to be a fighting game. The only difference is basically instead of fighting in an arena, you can walk around and pick where you fight.
Well, that also would make it seem much more different as well. But the thing is, like, Chivalry was made to be a realistic medieval combat game.
And I get that. That's kind of where it loses me.
But
I don't know.
like,
This is just kind of like a replacement for Soul Calibur for me. And I was a big Soul Calibur fan.
if you wait on a Steam sale, it'll be like $1.50. Chivalry will be obviously not For Honor.
Yes, For Honor probably won't. And I already have it. I
Where the
wouldn't buy it
fuck
on
is my
it.
landing pad? Do I even have docking? You know, I never requested docking permissions. Request docking.
You get too used to your voice commands. You're gonna forget that you even have them.
Request docking.
Submitting.
Docking request granted.
That would help.
Ah,
I saw the
Look.
pad light up for somebody else, and so I thought it
Queen
was for me.
sauce.
I know.
Hello, Queen sauce.
Like when I thought that about chivalry, I talked to Winslow like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, something like that, and I was like, "You play?" You know, he asked me if we played For Honor and stuff, and he goes, "I tried it during the open beta or whatever, but it was too much like chivalry. I would just rather play chivalry." And he thought the exact same thing I did, and we both used to play a lot of chivalry together.
See, I've heard that, and then I've heard other people who say that it's not. So, I don't know.
Pad one.
I've heard both. And not just from you, I've heard both from other people. Like,
I could see people wanting to defend For Honor and saying that, and people that want to like bash For Honor and saying that. But like, for me, I just, from a completely unbiased opinion, 'cause I don't even play chivalry anymore. I'm not a huge fan of it. I think it's really fun, but I'm not like, oh my god, you got to pick up this game right now. It's just it was so similar. It's like, why would I pay $60 for this? Because I was testing it. I wasn't gonna necessarily buy it. Why would I pay for this when I could do chivalry and I already own it? Or if I didn't own it, it would only be $1.50. But the thing I liked about chivalry was the big battles, like the free-for-alls and stuff. You would have 25, 30 people, and it was just completely insanity. Like, it wasn't like you died and a round ended in that particular mode. Where the fuck is my pad at? It'll be up here. You wouldn't die, and then it would be like you would respawn in, and just whoever got the most kills by the end of it. It was a lot of fun. There was a lot of getting stabbed in the back and laughing, just the gore and the sounds the characters make when they get their arms chopped off and shit. That feeling of cutting someone's head off. Where the there it is. Jesus Christ. Needle in a haystack. This is why you have to approach and make sure you request docking in advance.
Warning. Landing gear
Docking.
not deployed.
Her birthday was yesterday.
I was looking at dual stick stuff versus HOTUS yesterday, just out of curiosity after we were talking about it, because I had looked at it a little this weekend, and a lot of people, I guess, were saying that HOTUS is really good, but only if you get the but if you're playing
PvE?
what was it normal airplane games, I guess is what they were saying. And they were saying for spaceship games, dual sticks.
But even that is technically, in my opinion, I want to say incorrect, but I don't think it could be defined as incorrect. And the reason is because with a space game, you actually need to have 10 quote-unquote buttons or directions. You need to have forward and backward as far as like tilting the ship. You need to have left and right, cartwheeling, tilting the ship. You need to have the ability to go straight up and straight down, and go straight left and go straight right. And then you need to have your thrusters for forward and back. So 2 sticks is still not enough. And Horse and I were actually discussing last night before I went to bed.
The guy I was watching, he has dual sticks, and then he has pedals, is what he does.
That would make sense. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to find a really cheap joystick, and I have that HOTUS coming I got for free. Oh, landing gear.
Oh, nice.
Deployed. Deploy landing gear. Deploy landing gear.
Landing gear deployed.
Come on. Here. Hey, what's up, Tom? Oh yeah, you don't have to have that kind of stuff, but A, it adds to the immersion, and B, a lot of people say that with sticks you have a higher ceiling for performance, if that makes sense.
Yeah. It's kind of like controller versus keyboard. Like, to some degree, like, you don't have to. You could play almost any game on a PC anymore with a controller, but
you have less. You it's been proven that keyboard versus controller, as far as like, or keyboard mouse versus controller, obviously, as far as accuracy in first-person shooters, keyboards wipe the fucking floor with controllers.
Yeah.
And it's not even close. The only time it's close is if there's an auto aim involved. But then there's, the whole argument of that being like a PED, a performance enhancing drug kind of thing.
Yeah.
When I was doing my training for when I worked for Xbox, they were the teacher was talking about how like that is definitely better, and they actually did like a, I don't want to call it a study. Oh fucking A, I'm gonna take that mission. Are you kidding me? Let's go in that area. Where basically they took a lot of, what's the term? Not fully sponsored semi-professional gamers that played on PC, and they took a group of full-on professional, highly competitive, championship-winning caliber console players and pit them against each other in the exact same, Call of Duty or something like that. And the guys that were on PC absolutely wiped the fucking floor with the people on console. Not to say that people are more talented on PC, it's just the advantage of the mouse is fucking huge.
It's much more user-friendly.
Yeah, and plus, I mean, it's easier to get those precise fucking aiming down, whereas with a stick, it's a little bit harder.
Yeah, and that's what I mean by user-friendly. Like, I get it's easier to move from an exact point with your mouse from one screen to another spot on the screen, whereas that's why, I mean, I think you see, I don't want to say huge skill gaps, but a lot of times when I played PC, I didn't see the skill gaps that sometimes I see when I play console. Like, if you have guys that are good on console, like, they're retarded good compared to, like, half the other people. Like, if you play with somebody on console who plays console shooters all the time, they are going to be ridiculously stupid good compared to anybody else who plays it all the time, just because your thumbs get used to it.
PCMR,
whereas, like, PC, you can come in and pretty much pick up, and to a degree, you have a much... I think the learning curve, the skill gap, the skill from one end to the other is probably the same, but I think it's...
The top tier to the second tier is much smaller of a gap, basically.
Yeah.
Launch.
You get what I'm saying.
Fucking Tom. Launch. Bitch.
Affirmative. Initiating scan of onboard components.
Bye-bye.
All systems ready
Like,
to
I'm
go.
somebody who used to be stupid good with console shooter. I can't play an FPS on a console right now to save my life.
Standby.
Take off.
And there was a time when I was fucking stupid good at Call of Duty.
Take
Engines
off.
to maximum.
Like, I quit playing
Commander,
Call of Duty because I was
Maximum.
at a point where I wouldn't
Maximum
die in
drive.
matches and I'd get, like, 99% of the kills on my team.
Best Halo match I ever had back when I was... Well, not even Halo 2, it was actually Halo 4. I carried the team with 45 kills to a 50-49 victory. Like, we barely won, but it was like 100% on me. We were playing SWAT. I used to have a picture that I don't know, it was on my Twitter for the longest time. Like, it showed like 45 kills and then however many points I acquired doing that in Halo 4.
I'm terrible at Halo. Terrible.
I was fucking legit at Halo 2.
Terrible. I'm the worst. Like, brat worst. Worst. It's terrible.
Oh, I don't want brats. I don't know what I'm having for lunch. Some sauerkraut and mustard. A jam.
4, 3, 2, 1.
See, I think that's the only reason I would want the the only reason I would even want to play Elite Dangerous would be just to have the sticks, just to get that level, just to play for that level of immersion, because you're not going to get that with a lot of... What other game can you really say that you're playing with a somewhat realistic control scheme to where you would be if you were actually in some kind of ship? Like, I can't say that when I play, I don't know, Gears of War. Like, never would I be in a situation where controlling a gun would be done. It's just... I'm controlling a vehicle with controls that are somewhat similar to how the vehicle's controls would be as compared to controlling a person who is controlling a gun or a person who is controlling a sword.
I was going to. Arrow, you might remember, or Queen rather, you might remember these guys. There was these two blonde kids. They were twins, like identical twins, that lived around the corner from me years.
That
like,
sounds creepy as
11 years
shit.
ago. They were nice guys, but they used to play professional Halo, and they actually went to like Africa and different kind of places like that for tournaments. And they were going to introduce me to the right people so that I could actually go professional potentially with Halo, because I fought both of them, like one-on-one, and I completely wiped the floor with them.
Nice, nice.
That's the level of good I was. Now maybe they were a little rusty, but like I've never been, the only game I've ever been that good in since is 7 Days.
Frameshift drive charging.
God, I hate the original Shadows of Mordor so much. And watching this gameplay, I'm just like, I want this new one. This one looks great.
Forgot I opened that fucking picture of that guy. I looked over and his face is just smiling at me and creeped the shit out of me. I don't like CSGO. I haven't liked Counter-Strike since Source. I played CSGO and to me it felt like it was trying too much to be like Call of Duty. That and the fact that the menu was just not fucking user-friendly in my opinion. I like to have the thing where it lists off all the servers, you can go through all that kind of stuff, which maybe you can do and I just couldn't figure it out, but it just frustrated me more than anything.
As much as I'm into, you would think I would love Counter-Strike as much as I love games like that. Like, I love small team tactical games like that, and I hate Counter-Strike.
Wash my mouth out. What, because I'm speaking the truth and you can't fucking stand it? Stay woke, fam.
What? I'm really surprised they actually did CSGO. I'm really surprised they didn't just do, like, a re-release of something more along the lines of just amping up Source from what it was.
I played Good, sir.
Everybody played Source. Everybody.
Yeah,
Everybody does.
I played the original Counter-Strike, not back in beta, but like when it was really at its height, I played it. And then I played Source later on, obviously, but it was on its decline. And I loved it. I loved it so much. And then I went to play CSGO and it didn't feel the same to me. I don't know. You were like one of the very few people that would say that. I hope you realize that there's so many people that think Source is better. Another huge part of it is the community became really fucking, I want to go somewhere else.
League-like?
Yeah, exactly. The entire community became really shitty. What was the update?
Yeah. I used to have some friends like 5 or 6 years ago, and they live in Kentucky. Well, I still do. I mean, they're still my friends. I just don't talk to them as much. And they lived in Kentucky, and when they were in high school, they had a class that was basically PC hardware, and after they would assemble their computers on like the first week of school, their teacher, he would just let them play Counter-Strike Source, and that's all they would do for like the whole semester. They just go to this class every day where they're supposed to be building computers. After they had built their computer, he just let them play Counter-Strike Source for a semester.
When I was in high school, California, there it is. We had a class that the teacher got like cancer or something like that. She's a really sweet lady. Well,
Identifying threats.
Who the fuck is dumb enough to take me on? Obviously, I'll take this guy out. Anyway, so because of that, they had to bring a substitute in. Well, the substitute came in and literally the first day of class said, I don't give a fuck what you do. I've got to study for my master's, so just figure something to do and don't bother me while I'm studying. And so one of the guys and I figured out how to set up a drive on the school's network, installed Counter-Strike, Day of Defeat, all that shit back when it was really fucking big. Balance power.
Equalize power.
Turn. Fucking hell, I can't get on this guy. I need to drop. Speed is water.
Bye, Tom.
Later, Tom. Can I get the angle on this guy?
Right, Cody? That's like holy shit. Like, I just watching it, it's like holy crap. Like, it feels like he's playing through. What's
Target.
the damn? What's the big battle from the second Lord of the Rings movie? Helm's Deep. It feels like he's breaking into Helm's Deep in that damn video, but with all kinds of cool, awesome magic powers.
Target shields offline.
Hope you know I'm gonna kick your ass. Yep.
Target destroyed.
Dumbass. Engage Super Cruise.
Preparing for cruise.
Drive charging.
There you go again, talking about Tom Cruise.
Ready to engage. 4.
Maybe, but I enjoyed playing casual before. I did some competitive stuff, but I was never quite that good at it. I just enjoyed the casual and just, going to get the hostages and actually doing it somewhat strategically. But again, one of the biggest problems I had from the outset was the menu system. I liked the way they did it in Source. I didn't like the way they did it in CSGO. And maybe if you acclimated to it or got used to it, it wasn't that big of a deal. But for me, it was annoying as shit to have to use.
I haven't played Source. I played a little bit ago. What is the menu that you're referring to? That
It's hard to
just
explain.
like the
It's just
the server system on it.
yeah, like you click on like I would try to set up a server to play on, and I couldn't figure it out. And then
Oh, okay.
it was just there was so much going on with it that it frustrated me more than anything. Maybe because I'm an old man, I don't know.
God darn menu systems, get off my lawn. I don't remember what all I wanted to talk to Sauce about today. I finished The People versus OJ.
Ah, yes.
Took me 2 days.
Binge watch the fuck out of it.
I definitely did. I probably would have watched it all the first day if it had been a weekend.
Where the fuck's the now beginning?
Why are there so many pieces of bread on this table? Police department, blah blah blah. Walmart donating sub sandwiches. Nobody wants a sub sandwich from Walmart.
Actually, not that bad. System. Oh no. Engines to maximum.
100%.
Engage Super Cruise.
Engaging drive.
Really, I couldn't. I mean, there was no option that popped up that offered either or, nor did I see a thing immediately to change it over. To be fair, I didn't try so hard because once I did start getting into servers and playing, I just didn't enjoy it. And I'm not terrible at it. I mean, I'm a good first-person shooter player in general, so it's like just being a good athlete and playing any sport. Obviously, I'm going to be better at certain things than others. Still hard to...
That's right, I'm not an orphan anymore. Amy ruined it by adopting me.
How dare she? Another one?
Identifying threats.
No.
It always amazes me how many people actually play Counter-Strike, because it's always like one of the top played games, and I just I don't understand it at all.
I played Dota and I played CS:GO, and I think both are, in my opinion, not very good. Like that, I think CS:GO, I don't want to say is fucking trash, but I don't think it's good. And I'll call it trash because I don't think it's good.
Awaiting orders.
Like, I mean, I guess I get why they're popular games. I just don't get why they're as popular as they are. Like, I get why StarCraft is... Like, when StarCraft is popular, it's like, I get that. It's, like, the only really good, really high... Like, as far as RTSs go, there's not many RTSs that have had as much put into their development as the StarCraft series. Like, I can totally understand that. It's, like, a league unto itself.
Plus,
in
it's
that
super
genre.
open to creator content or whatever, you know, custom content
Yeah.
and stuff, user-created content.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that play, like, literally just only play it for the fact that there's different, like, content from people that made, you know, like, I can't remember the name of the fucking game. There's a couple on there that are really fucking fun that basically are not even, like, really StarCraft.
Yeah. But it's like, there's other games, like Counter-Strike, I'm just like, I don't get it. Like, there's a dozen other tactical shooters that I think are just as good, if not better, that I get Counter-Strike being popular because I get it's a solid shooter. I'm not saying that it's not balanced or whatever, or that it's not fun to play. It's just, I don't think it's leagues and leagues above everything else. I don't think it has some monopoly on the thing.
Engines to maximum.
Maximum velocity engaged.
Engage Super Cruise.
Charging Super Cruise drive.
So I guess I just don't understand its popularity from that extent. Yeah, but there's other games that are popular, and I'm sure if we had somebody, well, besides you, who... I'm sure there's weapons and things in Counter-Strike that aren't as balanced as they should, because you're never going to have a completely balanced game.
Yeah, I mean, it's not hard to get close.
How about that Overwatch meme that I posted the other day? I don't even like Overwatch. That meme was hilarious. The pants one. I was laughing.
I think I remember, but what was it again?
What is the new guy's name? The new
Oh yeah, where I showed the fucking pants, like the dog thing. I
Yeah.
don't know the name of the character. I know what you're talking about.
It's not Osiris. I don't know what the hell it is.
I have heard from a lot of people that CS:GO is pretty balanced, and that's coming from the same people that don't think it's a good game. Like they'll admit one thing when it's right, it's right. But again, for me, it was just the menu system, the community. I don't know, the entire game. I just didn't enjoy that because it felt so much like Call of Duty because of the menu system. To be fair, they did like the loadouts and stuff like that before Call of Duty really did it. So it's not like they're ripping anybody off or doing anything that's not standard for what they've done in the past, but the way they set it up, I don't know. I didn't enjoy it. I love Overwatch. I don't play it anymore, but I still think it's a really good game. I don't mean the gameplay is Call of Duty, like just like some of the mechanics of the menu system.
That's not even why I just brought it up, Juan, because I was talking about a meme. If I could post the meme, I would post it. It had the new Overwatch character, and it had him... If you've seen the How Would a Dog Wear Pants meme, it was basically splicing that onto the new Overwatch character, and it was hilarious. It's hilarious. Hilarious. That's the only reason I brought it up, not because of gameplay. No. I would agree. I think they are very far apart. It'd be funny if they were. They should do a crossover.
I think the most balanced shooter I've ever played was probably Battlefield 4. I want to see Battlefield 1, but there's a lot of stuff that I think are a little overpowered. But Battlefield 4 felt really balanced to me.
I don't know what the most balanced shooter I've ever played would be. That's hard to even think about, because, like, there's so many games where I'm like, I look back and I'm like, that was a fun game. But then, like, when I really think about it, I know there were things in it that weren't. Like Call of Duty 4, like, that thing is broken as fuck. The M16 was so overpowered in that it had almost no spread, and it killed you. It could kill you if you had stopping power on it in one shot. It could kill anybody in one shot.
And that's what makes it bad, Coma.
The range of a sniper rifle.
See, that's one thing I didn't like about it, that, attributed to my negative opinion of it. It felt like it was trying to be Call of Duty-esque. Not that it was Call of Duty-esque, that it was trying to be. The gameplay, obviously, is different.
I get what he's saying, though. It would be more like... What he's saying is more like if you went to a movie and it had a similar style to another movie, like they reshot it. God, this is a terrible example. So, like, the first Ghost Rider movie by Fox and the second Ghost Rider movie by Fox have completely different artistic styles to them and feels. The second one is very grindhouse and very grunge, and it would be like going to see the second Ghost Rider when you liked the first one, and then saying, well, this is grunge and grindhouse now, and I don't like that sort of style to my thing. It's the same movie, same character, but the packaging is different, I guess.
Power to engines?
All power to engines.
There we go.
Trying to think of... I know there are games like that I've had, though, where I'm the same way. Sequel comes out or whatever, and it's like, these menus.
Like, I've played Counter-Strike in the last year and a half, 2 years with, I don't think you've met him. It was, oh, damn, what's his name? Arnie.
Deer?
He goes like Total Arnage. And, I mean, I was kicking ass in the game. I wasn't like I was doing shitty. It's just, I was playing, I don't know, I didn't enjoy it as much as I have with Source, or as I have with Source, maybe because I was a different person then. I was younger, I was more into that type of thing, but I don't... Is there really? I don't even like most first-person shooters anymore for very long because I like sandbox stuff. I played 7 Days so much, I like the fact that I have to go out and find the guns, and I can lose the guns, and I have to have a base. That's why I need to start playing Arma at some point. Because it's kind of similar.
I feel like me and Sauce are headed opposite directions with our game. As I get older, I like the other stuff more, and I like open box stuff less.
Request stalking?
It's funny.
Taking care of it. Stand by.
Have you tried playing competitive, Sauce?
No, but I'm not going to.
You should.
If I'm going to play a first-person shooter or something like that, I'll probably play Battlefield and go into, like, Deathmatch. Because I only like playing the other modes in Battlefield when I have a group of friends to play with. Like Conquest or whatever the fuck it's called. I don't like playing those. Deploy landing gear, unless I have a group of friends to play with. Deploy landing gear.
Who the hell is Tony Curtis?
Deploy landing gear.
Lowering landing
Thank
gear.
you.
RuneScape for life. Why are we all talking about RuneScape over here? Why'd I come back over here?
Landing gear deployed.
Hello, Total Gaming.
Well, I didn't have a problem with the quality of like performance from other people. I had a problem with their personalities. But again, that wasn't even the number one reason. That was, you know, maybe 25 to 30% of the reason I just didn't enjoy it. Just the entire time I was playing, I wasn't enjoying the gameplay. It just didn't. Again, it's possibly because my tastes have changed, but I just didn't enjoy it. I was playing it, I was like, I'd rather go play Battlefield 4. I got it for a Steam sale for like $1 or $1.50. I mean, I got it for super fucking cheap, so it wasn't like I was out like $20 and I was pissed. I wanted my money back. I just did enjoy it. I kept it in case I ever want to play it again with some friends or something for whatever fucking reason, but I just didn't enjoy my experience overall. If I could find a server that was more like the original setup, where you started off with just, because there's a lot of different like funny settings I kept running into as well, but I like the original where you know the first round everyone has just a pistol, you have to earn the money to get that kind of stuff, you know. Yeah, but then it's gonna be playing with pugs, and I'm just gonna be annoyed because I'll be playing with idiots.
That's true.
Because I guarantee you, large part of that community is fucking idiots. Because a large part of every community generally is fucking idiots.
That's why we're not playing Gigantic today, isn't it?
Yeah, because fucking idiots. It's gonna be a fucking aneurysm. I don't have any friends. You're the only person I know that plays CSGO. And again, I'd still rather go play Battlefield 4.
I don't think I actually have any friends that play. Maybe that's because my circle of PC gaming friends is so small anymore, and I haven't kept many of them around. I don't really have anybody that plays Counter-Strike at all anymore. I don't have a lot of friends that play any multiplayer anymore, really. Besides Sauce.
That's because PC Master Race. I won't play consoles. The only console I will play is a Nintendo, and that's because of the exclusives and because I loved Nintendo as a kid. But I still think Nintendo's heading in a poor direction.
I agree.
I'm hoping they expand upon this game the way that everyone says they're going to be. You know, basically heading in the direction Star Citizen's heading in. It is, Razor. They are right now, as far as I'm aware, they're currently dominating the market. Like, I think they have the most market control, or whatever the quantifiable thing is that determines which is the most healthiest of the the Xbox, PlayStation, or PC. As far as I'm aware, it's #1 right now, and growing quick as shit too. A lot of people are converting over, A, because there's no online fees, B, because online multiplayer is just flat better, and C, because generally it's cheaper. You'd have to spend an exorbitant amount of money to not have it be cheaper. For the peasants, you mean? Let's just call them what they are. Pleb is too good of a word. Some of my best friends are plebs. Well, I say friends. People that I know. Well, look at a game like Ark, and that's kind of the model you should be looking at going forward. Come up from what I can tell from like things I've read online, is because Ark was so successful in developing for PC and then later porting to console. Even though there's a lot of issues, I will admit I'm getting into working on console because of the hardware. They've seen that they can make a lot of money doing it. That's the direction a lot more companies are going to want to go. Not to mention they can get, funding. A lot of the games that are coming and being successful now are not necessarily AAA titles. Like in the last year, how many AAA titles have come out and been uber fucking successful versus how many titles have come out that were indies, quote unquote, but still AAA quality and did very well? And I guarantee you that the AAA titles might have made more money, but I think the actual success rate of the indies is probably higher. You look at a movie like the Blair Witch Project, it cost them like, what, 50 grand to make, and I think they made something like 50 or 60 million. Hold on, let me look up really quick, because I want to remember. chat over. Blair Witch Project cost $60,000, and they made $248 million worldwide. Talk about a fucking return. Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the way it's been. You look at the game, like the Batman game they developed for console and tried to port to PC, and it went fucking terrible. It's easier to port to console, in my opinion, than it is to PC. There's a higher success rate. There's a few issues, again, because of hardware, but you're also limiting games to console hardware, which is obviously going to limit you in frames, quality, etc., etc., etc. Grab a random fucking chin, but... $11,000? Fuck you. A lot, like even like the Division, which I believe didn't that go to console? Like it was shown as a potential PC game, and then they developed it around console hardware.
I think it was.
I think.
Pretty sure it was console. Most of the time,
the stuff they originally showed though was fucking gorgeous, and what it was supposed to be. And then the actual game came out. It still looked very nice, but it was like a shadow of what it was supposed to be. See what I did there?
It's a lot of demos, though.
Yes, but this is like the worst one I've ever seen. Like, I mean, have you seen the original Division trailer or whatever?
The trailer or the original gameplay thing?
The original gameplay.
I do agree that it went downhill. Yeah, yeah.
Like I've never seen anything decline that fucking hard.
I think that just had to do with development issues more than anything.
I think development issues were because of the hardware on consoles.
I think there was other stuff behind that. I really do. That game took way too long to come out for it to just be technical issues.
Like when it came out for PC, it was locked at 30 frames, and you had to go in and modify the fucking files to get it to open up to more. And then they finally released a patch fixing it.
I mean, I'm sure they had that stuff too, but I think there was... Besides that, I think there were probably other issues going on, because Ubisoft was going through a lot of stuff at that point. I think a lot of it had to do with that. They had a lot of internal... I think they still have a lot of internal crap going on.
Quite possible.
Because that was right around the end of the 360 period, and they were going through a lot of their senior staff was leaving and didn't want to be there anymore, and there was a bunch of articles all over about different stuff going on there that nobody wanted to be a part of. And
Open Galaxy map.
Didn't they buy up Divinity at that point? Like, there's a bunch of crap going on over at Ubisoft at that point. But that game took forever to come out.
Like, I don't mind 30 frames when it has to be 30 frames for some hardware issue or something, even though I have a high-end PC.
Yeah.
But, like, that's the one time where it's like, it's my fault that it's doing 30 frames, so I will have to accept it. But that doesn't happen hardly ever. No. I'll be right back.
That should never happen on PC. That's just my view of PC. PC should always be pretty much uncapped and unfiltered and open to modding and... I don't know if I finished watching this stupid video. I got 6 minutes left of this stupid video.
Like, if you're on Twitch, you can see the specs of my computer, so I don't have some, like, shove-over computer, but occasionally some games like Ark, if it's turned up to maximum, will have noticeable performance dips. Yeah, plus modding.
Yeah, I don't know. The Division was probably, honestly, even besides the graphical stuff, like, I think that was probably the biggest disappointment I've ever... One of the probably bigger disappointments I've had in the last 10 years of
Take off.
gaming.
Ascending.
Docking restraints retracted.
Landing
Clear
gear
to ascend.
retracted.
Engine to 100%.
Commander. 100% engaged.
Like, I really thought that was going to be something special, and then it came... Like,
Yep.
just the gameplay in it is so generic and bad, in my opinion. I don't know how anybody plays it.
It's okay if you have a group of friends to play with, but I definitely think there's better options out there.
Way ahead.
I would like to see Destiny come to PC.
Knocking off.
See, Destiny I get. Like, when people say they like Destiny, I'm like, okay, I get it. The shooting mechanics on that are actually fun. The story sucks. The RPG mechanics are okay. But the Division, like, I will never understand why anybody plays the Division. I don't think the RPG aspects of it are good. I think the shooting aspects on it are terrible. I think the RPG aspects are terrible too. I just don't understand what part of the gameplay anybody finds appealing in that. It's not getting loot, I can tell you that, and it's not shooting stuff because that's not satisfying. The world, I guess? The ecosystem of how players meet up and stuff?
So I got my cat a red collar,
Red collar.
and it was one of those like breakaway ones, so it can't choke him or nothing, right? Engage
Yeah.
hyperdrive, and he disappeared after I put it on him. Like he didn't come around at all. Oh, and Winter, thank you for the follow, by the way. He didn't want to come around at all. He didn't want anything to fucking do with me. And then all of a sudden he shows up this morning after not being around for like a day and some change, and he's got no collar. So it was like the collar was the reason he wouldn't come around, and I can't fucking find it.
1. Engage.
And he looked so cute. Plus it had a bell on it, so I could tell when he was like on his way up into my room, or where he was at generally.
This is so funny. I like the story about your cat. It's very cute.
I definitely think if Star Citizen does what they're wanting it to do, it's going to really, really hinder this game's development because they'll start, their sales are going to decline probably pretty heavily. And also, it'd kick the shit out of anything Destiny's doing.
Disengage. Frame shift drive charged.
Just so long as they're able to accomplish like 75% of what they're wanting to. So long as they can get that much.
Is Star Citizen going that RPG?
I don't know if that RPG, but just the gameplay in general.
4.
Does it have to be RPG to be similar enough to be better?
1. Engage.
I mean, the idea is that they're both space-based games, but one's a much more opened-up universe that you play with friends and you have factions and do missions and stuff like that. I mean,
Destiny's kind of just like Diablo in first person.
well, it's like comparing Diablo to World of Warcraft. They're both have RPG elements of some kind, obviously because they're they're RPGs in general.
Yeah.
One's much more opened up and one's much more restrictive, and you only have certain story missions you can do. But they're both they're going to be first-person shooters.
Yeah.
Plus, one's going to have spaceships and, I mean, all kinds of crazy shit like that.
Yeah.
See, that's what I was concerned about. Somebody actually bought it for me for my birthday last year, and so I didn't have to pay for it. Well, I paid the taxes on it, but, whatever.
3.
$5.
1.
Whoop-de-doo. And I'm hopeful that it can do, especially because I haven't bought into it, but I've got friends, the one that actually bought it for me, for example, has put like $6 or $7 grand into it. And it's just, I think he's crazy because there's
That's insane.
the risk reward with that is fucking huge. Because even if it ends up being one of the best games ever, you've still put a lot of money into it. If it completely falls apart, you've wasted a shit ton of money on it.
Yep.
And the fact
And
that
the way they keep adding stuff, I think it could easily fall apart.
yeah, and their development timeline is just like, from what I remember, it was supposed to release the 3.0 update in December, but I remember reading that somewhere. I swear I do. Apparently, I'm just misremembering. But
No, you're right. You're right.
and then it got pushed back to now June or July. I can see them pushing it back again, and that's fine. If you've got to push stuff back because you got to work on your the game and get the things working, that's okay. But it's still not a great sign. If someone's able to release early and have it working perfectly, that's obviously impressive.
4. 3.
Yep.
2.
They've done that with all their deadlines with Star Citizen. They've continuously pushed it back. There's stuff they've promised that was supposed to be in like the first update that's still not out.
The thing for me that makes it so high profile and so concerning about them is the amount of money they have, you'd think that they would be able to completely brute force through these fucking deadlines, no problem, because they've gotten like what $100 million funded to them. That's a huge chunk of change.
Yep. But they just keep adding things, and I think that's their problem, is that they don't, like, they get more money, and they're like, so we're going to add this extra new feature, and then it's like, well, what about all the other features? You know, they have, like, featureitis, like, they just keep adding new features instead of finishing the ones they promised.
Well, that's why you say, we want to add this, we're putting this on the back. You know, these are the core features we're going to do, and these are the things we want to do. And that's something you can release, even honestly, in my opinion, if it's a good enough feature, and you can incorporate a lot of content alongside it, you can easily release that as, like, an expansion pack. And people are going to pay for it. Maybe they're going to think it's bullshit and DLC, and I remember back in my day, I didn't pay for it, but that's the world we live in now, folks. I mean, you have to fucking accept it. I don't like it any more than anyone else. But if the company has to do that in order to be able to pay for the things that they're wanting to do, then they have to do that to pay for the things they're wanting to do. Everyone except for EA. Fuck EA. They're just cash-grabbing whores. Absolutely. I've seen the ship he's getting for it. It's fucking sexy. It's not in the game yet. I'm not even sure if they've even designed the models in game yet, other than like a preview of what you're going to get, but the idea that he's going to have that is pretty fucking cool.
Because originally when they launched Star Citizen, it was going to be basically what Elite Dangerous is. It was just going to be it was going to be the God, what's that really old game that they were trying to make when they made Star Citizen? It's got Mark Hamill in it.
Oh, that really
Wing Commander. They were trying to
make that
a modern day Wing Commander, and that's what Star Citizen was originally supposed to be. It was supposed to just be basically Elite Dangerous, and then they're like, well, we got more money, let's add the first person stuff, and now they're like, let's add the planet stuff and a
base
crazy
building,
chat
agriculture
system.
And I like what they're wanting. If they can add everything, that's going to be incredible. If it works, even if everything works as it's intended without bugs and the standard stuff like that, just the economy stuff, not being an economist, my opinion means almost nothing with this, but I have concerns about the economy setup they're wanting to do, where like you basically can kill NPCs apparently and completely decimate that section of the economy if they do something special or something, and then eventually a new NPC will come along, but I guess it takes time for the new NPC to come along. So I could see people like doing that to hinder others' growth. And while that is an aspect of the game that should be there, I feel like it shouldn't be, you know, maybe an hour you have to wait, instead of what I'm feeling is going to be like weeks in real life time. That being said, apparently Elite Dangerous is wanting to go down a similar path now, because they're wanting to compete. They're wanting to add first-person elements and different things like that. I don't know that they're going to add, like, the request docking. I don't know if they're going to add the request docking, you bitch. Doing my name self. I don't know if they're going to add, like, the base building and all that kind of stuff, but the universe in this game is fucking huge. I mean, unbelievably huge. I looked at the map and stuff, and there's still places that haven't even been explored yet. What the fuck is... Boozy landing pad 3.
Scan detected.
Deploy landing gear.
Gear down.
Is that 2 or 3? That's 2. This is not the landing pad I'm looking for.
Deployed.
I think they're closer to having similar content that Star Citizen's wanting to have than Star Citizen is, if they were to focus on it. Because they have the galaxy up and working, they have all the really, really core basic shit. They just need to add that expanded stuff. I'm gonna have the same issue I had earlier. I'm gonna pull away from this fucking thing first and then come back. No, but if you look at like 3 years from now, when Star Citizen has released a 4.0 or 5.0 update, and it has the first person, and it has all that kind of stuff that they're wanting to have, if Elite Dangerous hasn't matched that type of feature stuff, they're going to be not only is Star Citizen going to be competitive, they're going to be kicking their ass. because people are going to want to play the space game where you can be in first person and in the ship and all that kind of stuff. They're going to want to have both. Very few people, other than people that are loyal to Elite Dangerous, or if it's cheaper, are going to play Elite Dangerous over Star Citizen purely from a content standpoint.
Mm-hmm. I think about the only way they could, if Star Citizen got to where it wants to get, I think about the only way Elite Dangerous could stay just a planes in space shooter would have to be, they'd have to add some really cool features to just being what they are. Like they'd have to 100% buckle down on that and add features that are so advanced, like add crazy competitive gameplay matchmaking type stuff, add, you know, ships features and sci-fi tech to the ships that just Star Citizen would never have the time to actually put in. Really focus down on the gameplay aspect and then just become kind of like how there are other RPGs that survive besides World of Warcraft, but World of Warcraft is an MMO. Just almost focus in on that, just focusing in on the gameplay aspect of just the ships.
Qualma, they're probably honestly 3 to 5 years out from having every feature they're wanting to have. That being said, doesn't mean they can't release enough features to be better than Elite Dangerous. Because literally, once the 3.0 update comes out, if it has the amount of content they're wanting to have, which is a large solar system full of unexplored areas to go to, where you can actually land and build a base and the stuff like that, if they're able to get that within the next year and a half, and Elite Dangerous doesn't have something massive to respond with of either similar or competitive content, it's fucking GG over. I mean, not entirely for the rest of forever, but at that moment, Star Citizen would be better. Even if you're an Elite Dangerous fan, I don't know how you could argue the point that Elite Dangerous is better if they don't have more content, because it comes down to who's got the better quality and quantity of content. If it takes them 10 fucking years, that game is not going to be a success. Because people are going to be moved on in 10 years. Graphics and engines are going to have moved on. Their game is going to look like shit in 10 years. It just is. They would be having they're going to have to update the engine in 5 to 6 years, make it look nicer and work with new hardware and all that kind of thing. They've got $100 million, if not more. I think it's actually more than that. I mean,
yeah, it's more than that. I go look it up. 100 million was that benchmark they passed sometime, I think last year before. So they probably have way more than that now. Star Citizen funding total. Boo 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 ba doo ba doo boo 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 ba doo.
They've raised over $100 million as of 2015, and I guarantee they've raised more since then.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm saying that if they let that happen, the game is going to be a huge fucking flop. That's a problem. If you can find that article out, I mean, I don't know if you know where it's at or if you can figure it out, but I would love to read that.
According to this, as of June 18th of last year, so that was 8 months ago, well, almost 9 months ago, so almost a year ago, Star Citizen was at basically $116 million.
A lot of money. AAA titles like GTA, I think they cost like 50 or 60 million. Let me check.
Witcher 3 was was one of the most costly that's been made, and it was at 100. Not one of them. Like, it was, I mean, for AAA game development, 100 million's pretty crazy.
Okay, actually it was 265 million to make it. So Star Citizen, for an indie game being half that, certain expectations are there. It should take a game, a AAA title, which I'm going to go ahead and lump Star Citizen into. Look at a game like Fallout. It took them 7 years to develop. So 5 to 7 years is kind of the expected timeline for the hardware, the graphics, and the engine to be relevant.
I would say that. I'd say most of the franchises I follow, I'd say 5 years is normally, if a game says it's been in development about 5 years, I'd say it's normally ends up being pretty good.
Not to mention CPUs and graphics cards are about to take a huge fucking leap forward. You can already tell with the current NVIDIA cards. Yeah, see, like, it just... the more I hear about Star Citizen, like I go between two different lines of thinking with it. Sometimes I'm thinking like, okay, they're going to do amazing. This is going to be great. And other times I'm just like, how do they expect to make this actually work?
I have the highest hopes for them, but at the same time, I just think they're biting off more than they can chew, as the saying goes.
Like, we only stand to gain as fans of it, you know?
Yeah.
If they can
I
make
really
it happen.
need to get it.
The problem is anyone that's put a large amount of money into it, if it fails, is going to lose and lose big time. If they make it work, like I said, it's the juice isn't worth the squeeze, in my opinion. For anything over like maybe $100 to $150, I think would be the limit. Because 5 years from now, if you spend $150 and when you're on it, you're not really going to give a shit.
I got bounties I can collect on, but I can't seem to collect on them.
Launch.
Acknowledged.
I do want to see them
Initiating
get very
scan of
close.
onboard components.
That way it forces Elite Dangerous's hand to have to get very close as well. I want to see them have first person. I want to see them have
standby confirmed.
static housing on random planets, and I want to. I don't know if they have this currently. I was going to ask you, actually, I forgot. But engines to maximum for track landing gear.
Drive.
Landing gear.
I want to see them actually have politics involved, where you can control entire star systems. Your faction controls it. That I don't know if they have that currently. I know they have where you can have a faction-based universe that your faction is control of, and only your faction can go into. But I want to see them have an actual, like in the open universe, have faction-controlled star systems. You know what I mean?
That'd be cool.
Because that's what Star Citizen is going to have, and just because they have it, it doesn't mean they have to do it. It's not like, oh, they're doing this, so we have to. But it's like they're doing that, and it's also a really fucking sweet idea. That's a really good concept. So if they're having really good ideas, it's not bad to want to incorporate them.
Shift drive charging.
Look at the iPhone. It took them how long to start incorporating stuff Android's been doing for years? And as far as I'm concerned, that was hindering Apple.
So true. They still don't do a lot of stuff
No.
that Android's done for
Well,
years.
it's also an extremely elitist fucking company and product, but that's neither here nor there.
Oh, Apple, you suck.
Most people I know that want to... I should say that. A lot of people that own Apples that I've had contact with that weren't friends that I consider to be somewhat intelligent people, but most people that I know that are stupid that own iPhones literally want to own an iPhone because it's the cool thing to own, and it's a status symbol. I'm somebody important because I own... I mean, they own it because it's supposed to make them somebody.
Yep.
Yeah. They do shit like that because it's a fucking cash grab. It costs them like $8 to make the phone, and they charge you $800. And yes, they've got to recover their R&D money, but they could charge $300 and still easily recover that money and still show a profit. But they know they can sell it for $800, and the fucking morons will still buy the shit.
A Razor Pony sounds like a cool thing. Can I get a Razor Pony sauce?
Razor Pony. I don't know.
That's what his name is.
Is it like a Razor branded pony from that computer company that's complete dog shit? So the pony probably would be as well. No offense to you, Razor Pony.
They made
I'd
my
say for
mouth.
joke. Like, I think Apple iPhone, especially the ones that are cheaper and older, are a great product for old people because they're so simplistic. That being said, you can also do the same thing with an Android if somebody helps you out with setting it up.
True dat.
But I'm not talking about old people that buy iPhones. I mean, I'm talking about a large portion of their customer base. Why am I going so goddamn fast at this thing? A large portion of their customer base that literally buy it because it's got the Apple logo on it. They also buy the Apple fucking laptops and computers. They think they're the best because they're fucking stupid.
Ain't that the truth?
You don't understand. The hardware in an Apple computer never goes bad, and then only when it does all the time, you gotta go and get Apple to replace it.
Like, Samsung is guilty of overcharging. But I don't mind Samsung because it has the Android. I want the Android system, and Samsung, in my opinion, makes the best Android phones. Just my my personal opinion. Yes, there was an issue with the Note 7, but that shit happens. How can I get it in the blue? I used to work for AT&T, and the amount of issues that came up with iPhones versus Androids was astronomical. And I don't know how many people own Android versus iPhones, but last I checked, Android control had like a 60 to 70% market control versus Apple, which had like I think like 35 or something. Request docking.
Requesting docking bay.
Something worth
Docking
googling.
request granted.
Somebody Google that really quick. I don't know if you're up to it, Snappy. I'll do it here to myself in a few minutes, but find out
Android
versus iPhone,
versus...
Apple market share control or something. I don't know. I have one for 75%. Engines to 75%.
Drives engaging 75%.
Engines to 50%.
50%.
Deploy landing gear.
The landing gear is down and locked.
79 versus about 20.
Currently, like right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so
2015, 2016.
let's assume that it was about that when I used to work there, and the amount of issues people called in with Apple phones, especially data usage and stuff like that, was fucking astronomical. Like, it was easily a 3-to-1 ratio.
I'd believe that. From people I know that have iPhones, they have problems.
Like, a large portion of it was operator error and them just being fucking stupid and not knowing how to use their goddamn phone.
I believe that.
They knew how to use Instagram, and that was about it. And then because of Instagram, their data was through the roof. Another thing was mostly just parents being idiots with their children. And I'm sorry, but if you don't fucking discipline your children, you're going to have a moron for a child. They're like, well, what am I supposed to do? Tell them they can't use data? And I'm like, well, frankly, yes, sir. You know, and I always, my biggest thing was like, in my experience working here with and dealing with other parents of children that do this kind of thing, they're very successful in just shutting off the data and not being overcharged. I can't do that. They need to have their data. I'm like, well, here's the thing. They can still make calls. They can still text. Anything emergency related, they can still do. They just can't use their data, which prevents you from getting charged more. No, you guys should just give me more data. I don't want to have to punish my son that way or my daughter that way. And it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? If you want to give them special treatment, you're going to pay out the fucking nose for it. Be ready for it. That's the way it's going to be. Welcome to America.
Man up, get some balls, tell your kid no.
Yeah, it was. Oh my god, like that happened more often than not. The parents would want to give the child whatever they wanted and not pay for it than they would actually want to parent their child and take away something from them.
That's redundant.
Thank you for the follow, Razor. Why are my alerts not working? Apparently. Like, they didn't want to turn off their fucking data or nothing. Like, I explained to them how to, like, limit the data from the phone using applications, how to do it online by just shutting off the data, all that kind of stuff, and just nobody wanted to fucking do it. It was so fucking ignorant. I'm kidding.
I wouldn't even have internet on my phone if I didn't have to.
Well, you don't have to. They're actually coming out with a new Nokia phone that has, like, it's like the original Nokia.
Yeah, I don't want that. Like, I mean, to be on my network, it's just, like, I don't have to pay for my internet, so I don't care, but I wouldn't pay for it if I didn't have to. I like my smartphone as a device to use, I don't really care if it has internet. I like it for user interface purposes, but not for, internet. I wouldn't have internet or texting if it wasn't paid for by other people. Probably wouldn't even have a phone if I had to pay any more than I do already.
Did it paste it already? Surely not. Nope. There's that, but there's no audio?
My life has no audio.
Is that true?
Yes.
Well, apparently this audio doesn't work. Okay, well, what's a good audio sound I should use for follower alerts? Can you back off, please? Okay. Give me some ideas, people. Got an idea about royal trumpets. Huh. Bye, Queen. Love you. Hmm.
75%.
Well, I'll mess with that later. I gotta hop off here, guys. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I appreciate it. Don't forget to follow the Facebook group, facebook.com/FFAwesomeSauce for funny cat pictures and other silly, stupid shit. Follow me on Twitter at FFAwesomeSauce. Follow Snappy Dude on every major social media platform, including I'mALittleOrphan.com. I will see you guys. Orphans! I will see you guys tonight. Bye-bye, bye-bye, bye-bye. You dumb cat. Bye.